Tanjiro stood and stared at the doll with a cracked face. He was dumbfounded by the likeness of the doll, but he couldn't quite remember where he saw it from. It was like the memory was tickling the front of his brain. Looking at the kid in the mask, he said,
"Its arms. Why are there 6?
He said this as the doll and the mist pillar resumed the fight. The kid in the mask proudly answered, puffing out his chest.
"Its arms? Well, according to my dad, this doll is modeled after an actual swordsman. They had to give it 6 arms or they couldn't replicate his movements."
He was gesturing in demonstration as he spoke. Tanjiro was nervous that he couldn't recognize the face of the doll. He asked the kid,
"So who is this person? What exactly did he do?"
He was desperate to remember. The kid sounded ashamed, lowering his face as he said,
"Sorry, I don't know the details either. But it dates back to the Sengoku era."
Tanjiro couldn't help but scream wide-eyed.
Sengoku, you mean, it's more than 300 years old? How has it not broken after all this time?
The kid in the mask continued in a defeated tone.
"Its construction is so superb that we can't hope to achieve that level even now. So if it breaks, we can't fix it anymore. My dad died suddenly, and I have no siblings. So I have to be the one to fix it. But I don't have the talent to fix blades or dolls."
He was almost crying by the end. Tanjiro was almost crying in sympathy.
"So that's why. I see.
Looking at the mist pillar, Tanjiro was amazed at his motions. The pillar was able to keep up with the doll, and Tanjiro was trying to keep up with his eyes at least.
This person is amazing. He's just as young as I am. But he's talented."
The kid and Tanjiro heard a crow start talking in crow.
"Well, of course. That boy is a descendant of the sun breath users. He's a genius. He is completely different from you. Ho 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 ha ha ha."
Tanjiro relied that it was Mist Pillar's crow. Out loud he said,
"The sun breath is the original breath. He's really amazing, but he doesn't use the sun breath."
Tanjiro wasn't looking at the crow as he said this. The crow with lashes balked at the statement by Tanjiro and attacked Tanjiro's face.
"Shut the hell up. I'll gouge your eyes out."
Tanjiro was screaming from the pain, and then the pain made him remember with the memories flowing back into his mind.
"Oh, the dream I saw. I saw him in a dream."
The crow stopped attacking Tanjiro, sat on his shoulder, and said with loathing,
"What? You're a total moron. Have you ever come to this village before? You're being so delusional that you make me laugh. So you know a warrior from the Sengoku era? How old are you?"
Tanjiro bit his tongue and refused to say anything else. He was not going to give the crow an extra reason to attack. After a while the crow cawed and hopped off. Tanjiro sulked and leaned over to the kid in the mask.
"Sorry about that. I must look weird."
The kid in the mask waved a hand, responding with vigor.
No, maybe it's a memory that was passed on? It's a common saying in my village. Appearances aren't the only things that are inherited. Living things pass on their memories too. For example, someone having memories of seeing the same scene when they first forge a sword. Or knowing how to do something they've never done before. We call those inherited memories. So the dream you saw must have been your ancestors' memories."
The kid got excited and animated towards the end, on the edge of yelling. The crow with eyelashes cawed and screamed.
"Ridiculous."
Over and over again. This didn't stop the kid from speaking with excitement. Tanjiro had a tear come onto his face. He didn't pay any attention to the crow with eyelash now that it wasn't attacking him anymore.
"Thanks, you're so sweet. My name's Tanjiro. What's yours?"
The kid puffed his chest out.
"I'm Kotetsu. You don't have to listen to this bully of a crow."
He was pointing his thumb with derision at the crow with eyelashes. Tanjiro and Kotetsu's attention was grabbed by the crashing sound from the direction of the fight. They turned just in time to see the mist pillar tearing through the armor of the doll. They screamed together.
It's armor!
Then without warning, Kotetsu ran off into the woods. All Tanjiro could do was scream after him. Calling out his name, he said,
Kotetsu, I'll find you, I have a good sense of smell.
Under his breath, he grumbled.
Even though I don't feel so good right now.
He was not happy that he was being forced to work so much more while recovering. Tanjiro used his nose and wandered around the grounds following the scent. He wasn't certain how far the kid in the mask ran. But after a while he found the trace. He followed it in a meandering path through the woods. Finally walking up to where the scent was strongest, he looked around. Not finding Kotetsu, he looked up and saw him crying in the tree. Amazed, he called out to him.
You're really good at climbing, huh? I'll help you with the doll. In any way I can. Don't give up. You still have a future. You have to work hard so you can be better 10 or maybe 20 years later on. One day you'll be able to do the things you can't do right now.
Kotetsu didn't respond for a moment. Then he lifted his mask and started to wipe away tears, saying through sniffles.
No, I can't. I know I'm just a pathetic guy. Everything is gonna end at my generation. And it's all my fault.
Looking up he saw Tanjiro only a few feet away from himself. Tanjiro jumped up and hung on to the branch next to Kotetsu, aimed at the chin of Kotetsu and flicked hard. He said with a serious face.
Don't be too reckless. Please don't talk about yourself that way.
The kid in the mask looked confused after him.
Ow.
At Tanjiro's hand, effortlessly holding onto the branch. He thought.
Not even a sound. He really is a swordsman.
The crow of the mist pillar and Tanjiro's crow sat on a branch next to each other, growling at each other. The pillar's crow said.
What are you looking at, lackey?
Tanjiro's crow responded.
Go away, eyelash bitch.
Tanjiro continued to hang and speak.
If you can't do it yourself, then someone else will do it. But you have to put in effort so you can pass it on to the next generation. So even if you can't do it, then your kids and grandkids might be able to, right? I want to beat Kibutsuji Muzan myself. And I want to save my sister who got turned into a demon. But I might die without fully achieving these. But I believe someone will finish the deed for sure. Just like how we defeated an upper moon with the lives we connected. Those same lives will one day beat Kibutsuji.
Grabbing Kotetsu with his free hand, Tanjiro yelled.
Let's work hard together.
Through sniffles and sobs, Kotetsu said.
Yeah, I didn't want to see the doll break, but now I've made my mind. His training session should last through the night. That's why I'll make sure to be mentally ready.
Tanjiro smiled enthusiastically. As Tanjiro and Kotetsu walked through the forest together, they spoke about life and their stories. Tanjiro shared about his family and sister. Kotetsu shared about his life and family, and Tanjiro commented.
Oh, so you're 10.
Kotetsu nodded, started responding.
Yeah, my brother.
But froze as the mist pillar casually strolled past them. They both stared at him, frozen in their spots. They both blurted out.
Ha, you're
done?
The mist pillar responded while still walking.
Yeah, it was great training. So who are? Oh, right.
Stopping, he said.
I broke my blade, so I'll be taking this one.
Kotetsu fumed at the pillar's words and ran through the woods again in the direction from where the pillar came. Tanjiro tried to stop him, but was stopped by the mist pillar. The mist pillar threw his damaged blade at Tanjiro, saying,
Dispose of this one for me.
Without waiting for Tanjiro to even catch the sword, the pillar turned and walked off. The crow with eyelashes flew up to him, caught a few times and landed on the pillar's shoulder. The crow with eyelashes humped at Tanjiro as it rode away on the pillar's shoulder. Tanjiro watched them walk away, confused by the contradictions of actions, emotions, and words while he thought.
I don't sense any maliciousness. So he probably is not doing it on purpose, but still. That crow is definitely malicious though. She's really looking down on me.
Shaking his head, Tanjiro was done thinking about the mist pillar and he started searching for Kotetsu again. He sniffed the air and followed his scent through the forest in a straight line. He found him standing over the broken-looking doll. Tanjiro sniffled back the tears looking at the broken doll, as the heavens started weeping as well with rain falling heavy on the trio. Tanjiro didn't know what to do about the situation. After a few more minutes of standing, he got his courage together and said,
Kotetsu, let's just make sure. It might still be able to move.
Kotetsu snapped out of his daze, and with Tanjiro's help they lifted the doll to its feet. Tanjiro and Kotetsu took a few steps back and looked at the doll. Tanjiro was sad and started saying,
Not moving, so I guess it's...
But out of nowhere it started whirling the swords around. Tanjiro yelled in excitement.
Yes, it's moving Kotetsu, good for...
Kotetsu interrupted him with a raised hand.
It is Tanjirou, now train.
Screaming in anger with all the conviction he had.
Please become stronger than that shitty and different jerk. I'll help you.
Tanjiro froze in fear and uncertainty. His brain was buzzing with anxiety and panic. Tanjiro managed to croak out.
What, right now?